Picture this. You're 24 years old, living your best life in London. You fly all the way back to New York City to support your little brother on one of the biggest nights of his life, his Broadway debut. You're the loving, supportive older sister. You're the cool one. And then your parents go on national television and call out your messy room in front of millions of people. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the Consuelos family experience. And honestly, we are obsessed with every single second of it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we cover all the celebrity moments that you absolutely cannot miss. And today, we are talking about America's favorite morning couple, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, who once again proved that no matter how famous your parents are, you are never too old to get called out for your messy room. Their 24-year-old daughter, Lola Consuelos, is probably regretting that visit to New York right about now, and we've got all the hilarious, heartwarming, and slightly dramatic details you need to know. Let's get into it. But television, he is a professional, haven't been following along. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos are basically Hollywood royalty when it comes to the world of daytime television. Kelly has been a fixture on morning TV for over 2 decades, first co-hosting Live with Regis and Kathy Lee, then Live with Regis and Kelly, and now sharing the stage with her own husband, Mark Consuelos. On Live with Kelly and Mark, the couple met on the set of the soap opera All My Children back in 1995 and eloped in 1996, and what a ride it's been ever since. Together, they have 3 children. Their eldest, Michael Consuelos, 28, who has followed in their acting footsteps. Their middle child, Lola Consuelos, 24, who has carved out her own path as an R&B singer. And their youngest, Joaquin Consuelos, 23, who is clearly the one making headlines these days for all the right reasons. Now, what brought everyone together recently was a genuinely beautiful family moment. Joaquin Consuelos just made his Broadway debut in the iconic production of Death of a Salesman, and the entire family rallied around him to celebrate. Lola, who has been living and working in London, made the trip across the Atlantic to be there for her younger brother. It was the kind of wholesome sibling support story that warms your heart. But as is always the case with Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, the wholesome story quickly turned into primetime entertainment when the couple took to their live morning show to discuss exactly what happened when Lola came back home. So here's where it gets good. Lola flew in from London, stayed at her parents' Upper East Side home in New York City, and from the sounds of it, she made herself very comfortable, perhaps a little too comfortable. Her room, according to both Kelly and Mark, was in a state that they could only describe as wild. Mark Consuelos, who at 55 years old clearly has not lost his flair for dramatic emphasis, told viewers on Live that he pulled Lola aside and said, "Point blank, you're leaving our house. Why is this stuff here? What is all this?" You can almost picture it. Mark, with those impossibly good looks, standing in a doorway, arms crossed, staring into what can only be described as the aftermath of a very spirited unpacking session that never quite led to a repacking session. Kelly Ripa, equally baffled but perhaps a bit more patient about it, added that she was well aware Lola wasn't going to be staying long, but she kept holding out hope. "I kept hoping," Kelly said, "that she would, at some point, go into her closet and take some of that with you or donate it." That, right there, is every mother who has ever watched her child leave a mess behind while fully capable of cleaning it up. But here's the detail that really puts it all in perspective and frankly makes it even funnier. According to Kelly, Lola was apparently once the winner of the Cleanest Camper Award. At summer camp, yes, the cleanest camper, meaning this young woman at one point in her life was recognized and celebrated for being exceptionally tidy. How the mighty have fallen. Kelly told Lola she needed to go in and clean the room every night for an entire week. Not once, every night. For a week. That is a mother who means business. And then there was Mark's contribution to the conversation, which, honestly, deserves its own award for most dramatic parenting speech delivered at the wrong hour of the day. Mark told Lola, with all the gravity of a man who has clearly thought about this deeply, "You're going to be responsible for younger people, theoretically, at some point. So you need to get this under control, or you're gonna raise a bunch of this. A bunch of this. Meaning, a household full of messy chaos. He was essentially telling his 24-year-old daughter that her future children were already at risk because of the current state of her childhood bedroom. And Lola's response? Absolute perfection. She looked at her father and said, "Dad, it's 6:30 in the morning. You're talking to me about my kids?" And honestly, Lola, same. The audacity of a parental lecture about hypothetical grandchildren before the sun has fully risen is the kind of content that only the Consuelos family could deliver with a straight face. The moment Kelly and Mark shared this story on Live, the internet had thoughts, and a lot of them. Clips from the segment spread quickly across social media platforms, with fans flooding the comments with a mix of laughter and solidarity. Many viewers immediately related to the experience of either being the messy adult child or the exasperated parent watching it happen in real time. Entertainment outlets picked up the story almost immediately, noting how Kelly and Mark's ease with sharing these personal family moments is a big part of why their chemistry on Live works so well. This isn't a couple performing happiness for the cameras. They genuinely bring their real lives to the table, and audiences respond to that authenticity. Fan accounts dedicated to the couple were quick to share highlights from the segment, with many people saying they laughed out loud at Mark's early morning future grandchildren speech. The phrase, "a bunch of this," took on a life of its own in comment sections, with viewers using it to describe everything from their own messy habits to their kids' disorganized bedrooms. Now, beyond the laughs, and there are plenty of them, this story says something genuinely interesting about the Consuelos family dynamic, and about why Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have remained such enduring figures in pop culture. In an era where celebrity families often present curated, picture-perfect versions of their lives, Kelly and Mark consistently do the opposite. They air the small, relatable frustrations. They tease each other. They lovingly call out their children on national television. And it works because it feels real. It also speaks to who Lola Consuelos is becoming as a public figure in her own right. The R&B singer has been building her career independently of her famous parents, spending time in London and developing her musical identity. The fact that she flew home specifically for Joaquin's Broadway debut shows a close-knit family unit, even if her bedroom habits haven't exactly impressed the management. And let's be honest, every person watching that segment saw a little bit of themselves in Lola. Who among us hasn't left a mess behind and hoped no one would notice? Looking ahead, it's clear that the Consuelos family has no shortage of exciting things on the horizon. Joaquin's Broadway debut in Death of a Salesman is a significant milestone. The youngest Consuelos child is stepping into a legacy of performance, and that journey is just beginning. Lola continues to pursue her music career, and given the way she handled her father's 6:30 a.m. grandchildren lecture with wit and calm, we'd say she's got the personality to go far in the entertainment world, too. And as for Kelly and Mark on Live, well, as long as their children keep giving them material like this, the show practically writes itself. Don't be surprised if Lola's room becomes a recurring topic. This family knows good television when they're living it. So, to recap, Lola Consuelos came home from London to support her brother Joaquin at his Broadway debut, left her room in a state that her parents described as wild, got lectured about her future children at 6:30 in the morning, and had the whole thing broadcast to the nation on Live. And through all of it, the family still called her a net asset and said her visit was very sweet, because that's the Consuelos family for you. Messy rooms and all, they wouldn't have it any other way. And that's a wrap on today's story. Now I have to ask you, can you relate to Lola here? Are you the messy one in your family? Or are you the parent standing in the doorway wondering what happened to all that summer camp cleanliness? Drop your answer in the comments below. I genuinely want to know. And while you're down there, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss a story. We'll see you in the next one.